A heart beats every second. The earth turns every day. There's a full moon once a month. And the seasons change in a yearly cycle. What happens to these earth clocks when we leave our planet behind? What clocks keep time in the universe beyond? In the 20th century, the science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke described an elevator that could take astronauts into space. Imagine his dream coming true in the late 21st century on Mount Kilimanjaro. A gigantic extinct volcano in East Africa, close to the Earth's equator. Mount Kilimanjaro was born 1.5 million years ago, and its summit is Africa's highest peak. The Clarke Space Elevator Complex would fill the volcano's summit crater. Each tower would be a docking bay for a space elevator cabin. A cable would connect the towers to an elevator terminal in orbit 35,000 kilometers above. Imagine that the space elevator complex is real. The future is now, and your elevator cabin is ready for boarding. Your pre-trip briefing is about to begin in the glass-walled visitor center between the gantry towers. It's time for tomorrow.
Welcome to the visitor center of the Clarke Space Elevator on Mount Kilimanjaro. Please, make yourselves comfortable as we explain how the space elevator works. Outside these glass windows, you can see the 2 launch towers for the elevator complex and the sun just rising along the eastern horizon. In just a few minutes, you'll enter the tower to your right and board the space elevator. You can see nanofiber cables extending toward space from each tower. These ultra-strong cables connect under this building and in space to create one giant loop. While one part of the cable carries your elevator to orbit, the other cable is bringing the second elevator cabin back to Earth. This briefing explains the science behind this new era in safe and affordable spaceflight. In the 20th century, astronauts traveled into space atop ignited rockets with the downward rushing gases propelling the spacecraft upward. Spaceflight was very dangerous and required years of training. With the space elevator, there are no exploding fuels. Inside the cabin, the ride is smooth, the acceleration is minimal, and no training is required. Your elevator's observation deck has windows facing outward and downward, so you can watch Mount Kilimanjaro growing smaller as you leave the Earth behind. As you approach the orbiting space elevator terminal, you will see the docking bay for the elevator. The tall tower contains the hotel and offices of staff who live and work in the terminal and on the nearby time telescope. The ring area of the space station contains the repair shops and construction facilities to keep the elevator and telescope in good working order. Your trip also includes a visit to the Einstein Time Telescope, which lies next to the elevator platform. This incredible telescope uses Einstein's physics and a wormhole encased in a lens structure to see through time. Normally, when we look at an object, we see it as it was many thousands or millions of years ago, because it takes light that long to travel from the object to us. The Einstein Time Telescope removes this distance factor, so you can see distant objects as they appear from Earth and as they are right now. Astronomers, and now the public, can visit this telescope because of the Clarke Space Elevator. This time telescope is the ultimate adventure through time. An adventure that you began when you traveled to Mount Kilimanjaro.